Hi, how are you guys? This is Christina with leadsandleverage.com and welcome. If you're watching this in replay, this is a replay of a live stream that I am doing, and I would love it if you would make a comment and let me know that you're watching this in replay. Just let me know that you're here. That'd be great. And today I'm actually going to talk about, why home value ads are not working anymore. And we'll go into that in depth. So I just want you guys to know what we're going to talk about. And if you guys are watching this live, for those of you, I see some viewers up there, wherever that's showing on your side. But for those of you that are watching this live, would you comment and let me know where you're watching from? Where are you from? Just city and town, or city and state, sorry. City and town, same thing. But where are you watching from? We're going to get into, as soon as you guys let me know kind of where you're watching this from, we're going to get into why home value ads are not working. There are 4 main reasons why they're not working. And then I'm going to walk you through what you can do to get Facebook ads to work for you. So it's going to be pretty easy. Davenport, Florida. Awesome. Hi, Sarah. This is great. It always takes a minute for me to see for a couple minutes. Orlando, Florida. I've spent 5 months in Florida. It was nice. St. George, Utah. Ottawa, Canada. You guys are awesome. Lots of places. Livermore, California. Fabulous. Thank you. See, Elkin, Mark, Stefan. Is it Stefan? And Randall. Tom, Sterling. Awesome, you guys. Fabulous. So I have actually a question for you guys. What have you guys tried running any home value ads? CMA ads, like using like a home value landing page or getting people to request their home value. Just a yes or no. Have you guys ever done that? Have you tried running those kind of ads? So I want to get an idea of kind of where you guys are at and what you have done to do that. So, or what you have done. So yes. Okay. Kimber's run home value ads. Awesome. Always takes a minute in the beginning. Mark's running them. Fabulous. Sarah from Athens, Georgia. Angela from Boise, Idaho. I'm in Coeur d'Alene, Angela, sorry. Just north of you. Randall has run them, but not on Facebook. Stefan has run them. Okay. Just started today from Cloud CMA. Okay. Yes. Okay. Using Google pay-per-click only. Okay. So I am going to focus on just Randall. So I will be focusing on Facebook. But I am fairly certain, I don't know the stats, but I'm fairly certain some of these principles apply across all ad networks. You use them on postcards. Awesome. Okay. So just a bit north. My son is in the Air Guard, and they were flying. He's flying with a refueling wing, and they were flying somewhere over Boise yesterday, refueling planes. He got some great video. It's pretty cool. So, all right, guys. So, home value ads. Have you noticed that that there's been a decline in maybe response rates on them, or by response rates, let me clarify this. People clicking through to your ad, so conversions on your ad itself, and then also in people actually giving you their information to get their home value. Have you guys noticed a decline in that at all? I know that a lot of my members have been frustrated with it. I've been watching in a lot of different groups, and a lot of other real estate agents are really frustrated with it. So, there's a lot of things going on with all of that. So there are actually 4 main reasons. And one of the reasons is probably the biggest reason, but they all have a cumulative effect on this and on this reason why. So the biggest reason that Facebook ads are not working as well, or they're just progressively getting worse. They're costing more. The returns, the conversions on them are getting worse and worse and worse. Hello, Alexander from San Diego. Is that users are becoming blind to them. Now, this reason and a second reason are kind of together. Users are becoming blind to those ads. Facebook users is what I mean. The second reason is, sorry about that, you guys. Pause. I forgot to turn off my put on my do not disturb. Just got a phone call. So the second reason is oversaturation. Faster market, self-confidence, sellers with spinach. Yeah. So so the two main reasons are the users are blind to the ads because of oversaturation. Everybody's running them and they all look the same. Okay. They all look the same. They all seem to, hi Vicky, hi Deborah K. They all seem to offer the same thing. And the Facebook user, the homeowner is very wise. They know what that means. They know that we're just trying to get their information. The other thing, the reason they're so oversaturated is just a couple months ago, guess who got in the game and started running home value ads? Zillow, Realtor.com, and Trulia. So the big three got in that game. So we're now competing. Not only are we competing on via SEO, we're competing on Facebook ads. But the problem with that, and this is a benefit for you guys, huge benefit for you guys, ZRT, Zillow, Realtor.com, Trulia, they're all competing for the same little group of clients and people. And what's very interesting is real estate agents are all competing for the same ones. And you can actually step out of that and completely not even have any competition. I'm going to show you how to do that. Hey, Mary. So the two reasons, users are blind to the ads due to oversaturation. That's two. The third reason that the home value ads just really are not working anymore, it's because they're not perceived as valuable. They're not a good enough attractant to get people to go, oh yeah, sure, I'm going to give you my information, because they can get that information anywhere. Now, we know that Zillow's not accurate. We know that tax assessments aren't always accurate. So we know all those things about that, but the problem is that consumers don't think it's valuable. They don't care that they're not going to listen to you as an agent, tell them that an estimate is not accurate if they don't already know, like, and trust you. So they've gotten that need met. So we need to find another need that they need met. So the other thing, and this is a big one. This one's, it might actually be bigger than all the rest. But the other thing is that our targeting sucks. I see ads for home value ads from people very clearly outside my market, from all over the country, and I'm seeing them, and I'm not the demographic, the target person for those ads. So we're not targeting. We don't know how to target, or we think that targeting, a town with a 25-mile radius, or we think that hiring out our ads to some of these big vendors is a good idea. Because we don't know how to measure the ads. We don't understand where the value is in the ads. We think it's impressions and we think it's reach. So there's all of these different targeting things. So we have users are blind to the ads, oversaturation of the same exact kind of ad. The ads are not seen, the value, there's no value seen in a CMA. There really isn't. I mean, I know for a time, I've been in real estate now for 21 years, and for a time there, people were like, well, say you charge $200 for a CMA and give them a coupon. And I'm like, okay, what homeowner really believes that a real estate agent is going to charge for a CMA? They're not. They don't. So that that coupon might have wanted to be seen as valuable, but it wasn't. So that's the problem. Our ads don't have any value. They're not perceived as having any value for home value ads. And of course, poor targeting. That's a big one, you guys. Poor targeting it's huge. It's huge. It's huge. Hi, Salvatore. Welcome. And it's huge. So you really need to, those are the four main reasons. And you guys, I just want to let you know that you're probably going to hear a cat sounding like, this is, I work from home. You're probably going to hear a cat sounding like he's being absolutely tortured. We have our awesome vet here, and she's clipping his nails, and he's a big cat. It takes 3 people to do this for him, and he does not like getting it done. He never gets hurt, but I just want you to know he protests loudly. So I put on my headset for this one. So hopefully you're just going to mostly hear me. I just want to let you guys know that we're not really torturing a cat, but we do have a cat that's getting a little bit of nail clipping done. He's not happy, so I just want you guys to know that. I'm not in my little recording studio. I'm just in my main office doing Facebook Live with you guys. So those are, back to the work world here, those are the 4 main reasons. Now, I want to, I actually want to ask you guys, have you guys experienced any of this? Have you experienced a decrease in the response rates of your home value ads specifically? I'm not talking about Facebook ads in general. I'm just talking about home value ads specifically. Have you noticed that decrease in a response rate in that? So you guys can just go ahead and put your questions down on there. Here, let me see your comments on there. I do want to know your response. Remember, if you're hearing the cat, I'm sorry, the vet's here. Big time drop, yeah. Haley's noticed it too. Iggy's not run them for a couple of years. Yeah, if you haven't run them for a couple of years, I hope you're running other ads because ads are awesome right now. Due to tech issues, is this being recorded? You know, Randall, Facebook actually puts this into replay. So yes, it's being recorded automatically by Facebook. Yes, and 0 response after follow-up. That's a big one, Frank. Yes, I don't run them anymore, Deborah K says. Sarah's just in her first try of this. Angela, yes, out of 20 people I polled at a vendor event, I only had 3 responses. Yeah, same thing. Never ran them due to not wanting to chase poor leads. I should do another live stream on that one, Chad, because that's a whole, in fact, I'm going to write that down because poor leads, that's a fabulous, poor leads. I'm writing that down because I think that would be a good Facebook live stream. Potential sellers do not respond to follow up after CMA is delivered. When HVL redid by ad for me, they were working better. Okay. Potential sellers, no, okay, good, that was a twice on there. Okay, guys. So, these 4 reasons that I just told you, they're the main 4 reasons. The main 4 reasons. So it's users are blind to obvious ads. That's just, it's just the name of the game. We're very aware that Facebook is running ads in our news feed, so we kind of ignore them. Unless they're really good, unless they appeal to us. 2, oversaturation, because ZRT's gotten into the game, it makes it even harder to get ours to stand out because we're all saying the same thing and we're all offering the same thing. We don't differentiate. We don't look different. We don't look valuable. Third thing is a CMA is just not perceived as valuable. It's not. So then we as agents are going, well, okay, what do I offer? How do I get people into my database? What do I do next? And the 4th reason, and this is kind of a big one, is poor targeting. Our targeting, we don't, like I said, Boots the cat, the big, huge cat, he's not happy. He's just getting his nails clipped, and then he always comes right back for his treats afterwards. So I'm sorry about that, guys. He just ran into my office. So poor targeting is a big one. That's a big mistake. So Mark actually struggles with the conversion after getting them. Randall asked, what is HVL? It's home value leads. It's actually a product that provides a home value landing page. How do you watch this? So John, John, if you can't see this, John, would somebody do me a favor? I can't respond to John right now because it doesn't let me until after. But if one of you guys would just tag John and let him know that all he has to do is press the little play button or turn up his volume so he can watch this, that would be great. I'd appreciate that. Jason says leads are only as good as a person is at converting them, sharpen converting skills. Yes, you do have to have a process in place. That's definitely, and that's a live that I'll do. Randall says, is there a way to see the types of ads that ZRT is running on Facebook? And only if you see them in your news feed. They might actually have them on their websites to show people, you know, when you buy their services, what they'll be running. And I don't know that they actually do those ads for you so much as they do it for the company, and then they distribute them to whoever's paying for them. But I've seen them in my feed, and I've taken screenshots of them. My poor cat, Deborah K. He's not being hurt. He's just mad. He's mad while they're clipping his nails, and then he like snuggles and wants love and treats, and so yeah. R is realtor.com. So ZRT. Okay, so here's what you can do. Now this is just a tiny little piece of this, guys. There are a lot more elements to all of this, but I'm going to give it to you kind of in a nutshell, and you can take it and play with it. So it's going to take a couple tools. You're going to need a couple tools. One of those tools is you're going to need a blog. And I know a lot of us go, because we just don't want to invest time in a blog. But also we think that we can use kind of canned content for our blog. That won't work. So what this is going to take you actually figuring out a problem or a need that a potential home seller has. And you need to give them a solid solution. And the way you do that is you write or do a video, a blog post or a video. Okay, so that you need a blog, and this needs to be outside of Facebook. So this is actually a two-step process to get these leads outside of the whole home value concept. You're going to give them the same thing, but you're going to give it to them under a valuable umbrella, and you're going to look different. So you need to figure out what a problem is that a home seller has, okay, outside of finding out the value of their house, but you need to find a problem, and you need to write a blog post or do a video, something like that, and put it on your blog. That's the first step. The second step, so it's actually, the two-step value is actually, that's the first piece. That's the first tool you need. The second tool you need is you've got to have a Facebook ads account, which if you've been running ads, you do have one, and you need to put the Facebook pixel on this website, on this blog post, okay? It is actually easy. If you are like tech illiterate, it can seem overwhelming, but it's not that overwhelming. Okay, so I just want you to know. So you need a blog post with a good high value thing. In that blog post, you're going to put what is called a content upgrade. And that's basically a click-through. It could even be something as simple as, are you ready to sell? Are you wondering what your home value is? Because what's going to happen is people are going to come from Facebook to that blog post that you just wrote. And they're going to read that or listen to it and go, okay, and they're going to trust you or start to trust you because you're going to give them good information, valuable information. And then usually around 40% of those people are going to automatically click on this content upgrade, which could be the home value. And so let me go back to questions real quick. We're going to pause at that thing. Okay. Thank you, Kay, so much for helping. So Angela, I'm going to get into that in just a minute. Hi, Leah. And then David says, why a blog and not your Facebook page? Because of the pixel. You need the pixel. You need to have very high value, and you need the pixel. So I'm going to show you. This is a two-step process. We're going to take the article that you just wrote, the training article that you just wrote, just did a video on, okay? And we're going to run ads to it from Facebook. Again, if you guys are just joining me, the cat is protesting because he's getting his nails clipped. I just want you to, he's a big 20-pound big guy and he doesn't like it. But we have to do it. So, sorry if you hear it. I'm trying to use my headset so it's more focused and you don't hear that. So you want it to be on your blog, David, because you're going to run ads to it, first of all, as value. So that these are going to be value-driven ads. If you guys have ever seen in magazines those advertisements or articleizements or whatever they're called, where you're actually reading the article and suddenly, and it's not until like maybe the end that you realize, oh, this was an ad. That's kind of the concept. You're going to give value. You're going to give value. So you run an ad to your targeted audience that drives them to this blog post. Do you have this problem? Guess what? Here's the answer. Give them the answer. That's what you're doing. Okay. That's your first step. So, okay. Anyway, James, I just saw James comment on there. So, you need to take the preview of your, James, take your link out of your comment. Okay, so anyway, so you're going to drive ads to people to that. And then what you're going to do, we're going to put that opt-in. About 40% of that traffic is going to automatically opt in right then. And then you're going to pixel it. And then you're going to run the value add to those people who have visited that page. You know that they're interested in selling. So you're going to have a tremendous opt-in rate from people who are actually interested. And you're going to get past the whole competing for the same people. So let me see. Well, Elkin asks, what is the best camera for video that you recommend? You know, I actually have, I'm not using it right now, but a Logitech, I think it's a C930. I can't remember the number of it. Logitech C930. That's what I use for all my videos. This actually happens to be my iPhone. Randall asked, is that a tracking pixel? Yes, it's the Facebook tracking pixel. Angela says, thoughts on video versus post on the blog page. Is one better than the other? I actually recommend doing both. So you have the video and then have it transcribed, because some people like to read and skim. Some people like to watch video. So I recommend both. And it's super easy to get them transcribed. I use speechpad.com and they transcribe it, and then you just check it, make sure it's what you were actually said, and then you put it on the post. Jason says, I always enjoy watching your videos. Do you coach? I actually do, in a way, not one-on-one. I have an inner circle mastermind that is available for my Facebook Domination Secret members. Small group. It's the closest thing to one-on-one coaching that I have, but it's beyond Facebook ads. This is all about, it's kind of in depth. It's about choosing your life and choosing your business to shape your life, and implementation and all that kind of stuff. So Jason, actually, you could probably talk to, I don't know if Myra's on this thread or not, or if Sonia's on this thread or not, or if any of those members on there. I can give you more information here too. James says, sorry to say my video evaluation Facebook ads are working great. Over 20% opt-in, getting high-end listing appointments. Okay, that's cool, James. You probably have targeting dialed in, or I'd have to see what if you're doing opt-in, like from all the traffic that you're getting, opt-in rate. I'd like to see actually see those numbers. That's fabulous if that's what's happening. Randall says, what do you suggest for a seller problem for the ad other than knowing the value of their home? Well, think about it. As a seller, what other things do you want to know? I mean, we don't really need to know. We want to know the value, but that's not the only reason that we want value. Who is that giving me all those? That is Leah giving me all those loves. Thank you, Leah. Or all those hearts. So it's not just, you think about all the different problems. I mean, for example, I was trying to figure out, we're looking at other parts of the country to potentially move to. This is like, we're so far out from this. It's just a thought process. And now this would be a buyer side, but some of the problems that I'm finding is just finding resources to just do my research. It's really hard to find resources to do that, but that's not really a seller problem. A seller problem beyond home value is, how am I going to live in this house at the same time that it's for sale? What's it gonna do to my schedule? How long is it gonna take to sell? How long am I gonna have to live in discomfort? I did all these remodeling things. I put on a new roof. Why isn't my house worth more? I mean, forgetting that the house has to have a roof and a working roof, things like that. So there's all kinds of problems that they don't probably realize are problems. They just think, well, I put on a new roof, so it's worth more. Well, no, it's not. Those kinds of things. So think through some of those on there. Hey, Judy from Austin. James, shame on you. Jason, how do I become a member? So you go to leadsandleverage.com/FDS, and I will try and type that into andleverage.com/FDS. And I just want you to know the Inner Circle Mastermind, I just put the link in there. The Inner Circle Mastermind, it's open once a year. It's actually open right now, and we're closing it on the 17th. I think I'm looking at my calendar. June 17th. So, and there's more information inside the membership for that. It's only available for FDS members. Leah says, what happened to your back screen? It's actually sitting right behind my cello. I just decided that I only need it for my nice videos, and it was preventing me from doing live streams because I have to set it up and take it down when I do that. So Leah, anything I can do to not have an obstacle to do something that I should be doing. So I didn't completely stop using it. It's just that it's down right now. I'll put it back up. So Deborah K says, I'm confused. You said run ads to your article blog. Yes, a blog post. Run a targeted ad to that blog post. So let me finish this. Sorry, guys. So then Karen, this is a good one. Good segue into this. How do you create the opt-in on the blog post? So what you would do, if any of you guys have read any of like my Inman articles, if you're seeing this, the feed, my connection is weak. I'm putting this is weak. Hold on with me. If you're still hearing this, the connection's a little bit weak. This always happens. And I'm just letting you guys know I'm still here and it's going to come back. It just takes a minute. So how do you create the opt-in on the blog post? So Karen, sorry, let me get back to that. If you guys have seen any of my Inman posts or even any of my leads and leverage blogs, Every single one of them, I have an opt-in on it. And it's usually a, hey, I created a training article for you, or hey, I created a checklist for you. Sometimes all I've done is created a PDF of the article itself because people like to download and read later. So what you would do is you create a link. So in this case, you're doing a problem for a seller. You're helping solve a problem for the seller. And then you're saying, oh, by the way, the next step you really do need to do is you do need to get a good home evaluation done. And that does not involve using Zillow or your tax assessment. The values are different. I've actually got the sold data. I know what's going on in the market. Click here if you want a good home value so you know what it'll sell like this month or sell for this month, things like that. So that's how you would do it. You would kind of segue into that in a valuable way, and then click here if you want to take advantage of that. And about 40%, usually it's a little bit more than that, but anywhere between 30 to 50% of the people who come to your page, and if it's valuable, guess what they're going to do? They're going to click on that upgrade, that content upgrade, that link. They're going to do that because they're like, oh, okay, I'm getting value. Oh, this is the next step. You kind of have to tell people what to do so that they know what's next. You can't just leave them to guess, and you can't be you can't make suggestions. You need to say, hey, if you want this, then you need to do this. This is what's next. So then what happens is you've pixeled that traffic, okay? And maybe 30 to 50% of that traffic has already opted in. You've already gotten them into your database. The next step is you run either another value add, meaning another article that helps sellers, like maybe the next thing that they tend to have a problem with, you do the same thing. And or you run okay, you did this, now it's time to get your home value. This is your logical next step. This is their progression through their customer journey. So there's a lot of different ways you can do this, but you're going to get much better quality of leads. You're going to get upstream. You're going to get before where ZRT and every other real estate agent is running their ads. You're going to get ahead of the game. You're already going to be building know, like, and trust relationships. And the people are going to like willingly, not just feel like they're being forced into it, they're willingly going to give you their contact information. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. What other questions do you have on this? Do I need to clarify any of this? That was a lot in a short little period of time in there, and I want to make sure that it's clear for you so you can implement and do something like this. So let me know in the comments below. Thoughts? What are you doing? How's that working? So even if you feel like your home value ads are working, you can kick it up a notch and you can double and triple the results by doing it this way. It's amazing how much better the results are doing it this way than running that cold traffic to an actual opt-in page. It's amazing. Okay, so Karen says, I'm watching my computer screen too. Karen says, no, Frank says, did I miss where you talked about the content of the Facebook ad? I actually didn't talk about the content of the Facebook ad. So if you're going to be doing a blog article about a problem that a seller has, then the content of the ad needs to be congruent. So it needs to say something along the lines of, do you have this problem? Do you experience this? Then click here for the answer. The strongest ads say, they ask a question and say, here's the answer. So click here. They tell people what to do and to give them the answer. So that's really the basis of the content. The details of the content will depend on what your article is about, what problem you're trying to solve. And that problem will be unique depending on if you're selling a golf course home, a lakefront home, a track home, a duplex, and on the, or a condo. It'll be different depending on what the seller's needs are. So Karen says, what software or graphics program do you use to capture their contact info? So if you're doing home values, you can, I recommend highly Lead Pages, and through Lead Pages you also need like a MailChimp email account. MailChimp is free, Lead Pages costs money. There is a discount. You're not an FDS member. There is a discount for FDS members. I can get the link and I'll put it in here in this thread for you, Karen. So you need a landing page and a landing page software and an email software. Linda says, I don't know what you mean by pixel. Okay, so a pixel is like a cookie, or like on the internet, they track, like when you see ads for things that you've gone to their website, they've pixeled you. So leadpages.net, yes. However, there's actually I have an affiliate / discount link. So you can just go right to leadpages.net if you want to now. I can give you whatever the bonuses that I get for giving out as an affiliate if you want me to put the link in later. So a pixel just keeps kind of track of what you're doing, and it's up to the business to keep track of that. And here's what I mean. So if you go to Zappos and you look at Zappos does this to me every time, they kill me. Zappos, I go look at shoes or I look at purses or something like that. And then I'll go back to Facebook, and then all of a sudden in my feed, I'll see an ad for the shoes I was just looking at, or the purse that I put into my shopping cart. And that's because Zappos uses the pixel from Facebook. It's in the ads account. They pixel it onto their site, and then they keep track of where you've been. They don't know who you are. They just know that you've been to their site so that they can run ads to you. And it's actually, technically, all of this is called a website custom audience, because I went to visit their website, Facebook created an audience for them, and now they're running ads to that audience. That's what you would be doing. But that's what a pixel is. It kind of keeps track so that Facebook knows and the website owner knows. But here's the thing. They don't actually know it's you. They just have an audience of people who have done that. So you're not really, it's not quite like a stalker thing, but it's kind of sort of a stalker thing. So Randall says, how can we see some examples of this? So good. Well, any one of my Inman articles, if you subscribe to Inman, any one of my Inman articles, I have it right on there. If you go to my leadsandleverage.com page, just on the main page, any of my last 6 or 7 or 8 blog articles, I usually have a featured download at the top, and then I have a featured download at the bottom. That's the exact same thing. So people can read about the problem I'm trying to help them solve, and then they can go to the next step, and I have the upgrade. So those are perfect examples, and then I run ads to those. A lot of times I'll just, whatever that ad is, like one of my big ads that I run is the 7 mistakes you're making on Facebook that are killing your real estate lead generation. So in that, I have all the 7 mistakes. I have it on there, here what to do about it. And then I have an option for them to upgrade to the Facebook page setup checklist that I offer. So that's a perfect example. David says, can you elaborate on the pixel thing? Okay, David, I know I just answered, and I think you might have responded. Could you let me know, did I answer your question on that, or do I need to elaborate more? And if I do, could you maybe clarify a little bit in what area? That would help me. So Haley says, do you send them straight to a home value report page or to a sign up form? So if you're doing this from a blog article, you want them to sign up. You want to get their email. A lot of things that we've noticed, a lot of the industry provided vendors who are doing home value pages, they're asking for the street address first, and you really want their email first, because people aren't necessarily, there's not as high of a conversion rate going to the second step, which is why I recommend Lead Pages. Lead Pages has got a home value page that seems to work a lot better. Not seems to, we actually have some stats on it compared to some of the others, HVL, Prime Seller Leads, Brevity, things like that. Frank says, does a new roof increase the value of your home type thing? You could do that. I would actually go to a little bit more of a problem. Like why? I added a new roof. Why isn't my home worth more? Or I added a new furnace, or I added a new hot water heater. Why are those things not increasing the value of my home? Things like that. Let's see. Randall says, so we need to post a call to action in the Facebook ad that is driving them to our blog page. Yes. It needs to be a problem solution. Here's the problem. Click here to get the solution, and then give them the solution. Reconfront the problem, give them the solution, and then your content upgrade, where you want them to opt in, that's the next step. So here's the problem, here's the solution, here's the next step. That's the goal for this. Thank you, Mark, for doing Lead Pages. Oops, it's not letting me like it. Oh, did you take it out, Mark? You must have taken that out. Sorry. Jerry says, home valuation ads were working for me, but it's really slowed down over the past couple of months. This is great. Yes, this is why, Jerry. And then today, also, Jerry, on today's powwow, we're actually going to go into, Facebook has changed audiences again, and they changed targeting again, and we're going to go into a literal diamond mine of audiences today. So it's going to be pretty awesome. Today's powwow is going to be awesome. That's for FDS members if you guys are interested. You're welcome, Linda. Yes, Iggy, that's perfect. Do you need to sell your home before, or should I sell my home before I buy a new one? You know, the 10 things you need to know. That's a great article to put in there, and be in depth, guys. Give the real answers. Don't just do a quick little thing. Give them the answers so they literally don't need to call you for that little piece of nugget, but then give them the next step. Okay, great. I know this. Now what's the next step? That's where the content upgrade comes into play. Robin says, if we use Facebook lead ads, I think it will allow us to advertise not needing landing page. Don't use Facebook lead ads. The whole point of this is to capture that traffic on a pixel. Now, they're moving towards that. Lead ads will be doing this soon, but for right now, they don't. You want to capture this traffic. You want to pixel it on your website so you can run more ads to it. And lead ads is starting to go that direction, but they're not fully there yet. So that's a big thing. You also want to have an instant autoresponder. Right now, you've got to use like Zapier and a couple of other things to get all of from the Facebook to... I never get phone calls, and I got 2 during this live stream. This is crazy. Sorry, you guys. So, so I would not recommend using Facebook lead ads if you're trying to get a pixeled audience, which is what you're trying to do. Yep. Okay, good. Hey, Hallie says thanks. Haley says thanks. Okay. Okay. Karen says, if they give you an email address that is not linked to their Facebook account, does that mean you can't retarget them? Okay. So first of all, Karen, they're coming over from Facebook. So they're clicking on your ad, coming to your website. You just pixeled them. Facebook just pixeled their account. So you just captured them in that audience there. Then they give you an email address to opt into your database. That email address may not be the one that they use on Facebook. So in that way, no, you could not use that email address to target them, but you can use their visit to your website. So you haven't lost. You gained 2 different ways to target them, which is fabulous. That's great. You can send emails. You can also target them because they visited your website. That's what you want. The more ways you can get them into your web, the better. Iggy's really giving some good information. I was saying EG at the same time as I was saying your name, Iggy. Sorry. Why your house hasn't sold? Why hasn't your house sold? Your agent matters. Unique service proposition or hook or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I actually excuse me. I actually recommend not trying to tell people why they should use a realtor or why an agent matters, because if they don't already know, like, and trust you, they just ignored you. They don't care. They don't believe you. You're preaching to the choir. You're biased because we're realtors, and to tell them, well, yeah, you should use me versus doing it yourself because, you know, blah, blah, blah. So I would probably leave out the promo your agent thing. You want to build the relationship first. Then you want to give them the reasons why when they already know, like, and trust you, and they're gonna link you. Kimber, I will get the link. Yeah, for lead pages with that. Let me write that down. I'll put it in the thread as soon as I've done. I just can't do it at the same time that I'm talking to you on here. So Randall says, why are they asking for the homeowner's address first? To generate a partial lead if the seller prospect doesn't complete step 2? Yes. However, part of the problem is it generates a partial lead that you need to either drop by in person or send snail mail to, which both of those are expensive, both in time and in money. And so they work, but they take a lot of time and money. What's better is when you can get the phone number or the email. Those are the two, because you can text sometimes the emails. You can target an audience on Facebook. So you have another way to get to them. If they're not willing to go to step 2, they don't want you contacting them. So if you can get information so that you can contact them in a kind of a roundabout, non-intrusive way, that's going to get you higher conversions. It's kind of awesome. It's also going to cost less and cost less money and time. Angela says, when meeting people at an event, I have found that offering my trained eye to sellers to look over their property helps get me in the door and the ball rolling on them potentially listing. Let me see. How do you think I could incorporate that into a blog post to get people to take action on it? For instance, a post like, need a trained professional's eye to see if you're ready to go sell. Contact me for free investment. No, actually what I would do, Angela, I would write a blog post on the 5 reasons that you have seen every time you've assessed a person's house, the 5 things that you have seen why their home's been not as high valued or hasn't sold or whatever. I would do that first. Then your content upgrade would be, hey, I'll come do this for free. You want me to go through this and help you? So you're giving them 5 good reasons to go through and read and implement themselves. And then you're giving them the next step. That's what I would do for that. That's the goal. You don't want to go right to the sale. You want to give them value. Then you want to say, hey, I can help you with the next step and be more valuable. Deborah K says she lost me. Randall says, when did Zillow, Realtor.com, and Trinity start running seller Facebook ads? Oh, goodness. I noticed it sometime this spring. I can't remember the exact date. I can look back at my screenshots, but I noticed it sometime this spring, Randall. And I was just like, oh, that's lovely. More lovely because it just meant that it just made it more ads, more ineffective. And agents are going to need to make a switch. And I noticed it and I went, oh, okay, agents are going to start seeing some diminishing returns on their ads. Yeah, Iggy says, with an address first, the software is working in the background to generate an evaluation faster. Yes. Okay, here's the thing. A lot of those are trying to send out auto evaluations, and I'm a huge proponent. Don't send out an auto evaluation because you just gave people what they want. They're turning away, or what they think they want. They're done. They don't need you. So there are some other ways to actually bring them through the customer journey at a higher conversion rate, at a higher value rate, and actually you're going to get more sales out of it. So there's, you want to systematize, but you also want to get people through that process. And we've talked about this in depth inside FDS about how to not utilize auto evaluations, but at the same time still systematize it for scale and get more people to the closing table. So that's, yeah. So Iggy, you're right. That's exactly why they do it right now. Robin says, what do you know about having ad landing pages created using AgentJet? I don't actually know anything about really AgentJet's conversion rates. What I do know is that every single real estate vendor that I have ever seen, their landing pages, they don't compare in conversion percentages to lead pages. That's what I do know. So there is yet to see, and it's the way, either it's the coding, it's the way they're setting it up, it's the process. Something that they're doing is not converting as high as lead pages, pages, and you want conversions. That's what I know. That was for expired listings. Oh, got it. Perfect, Iggy. You're welcome, Angela. Let's see, Robin. When you run home value ads and get response, do you automatically give them a CMA? Oh, I was just talking about this. This is good. Or only if contact is made and confirmed they really want to sell. So there are some people who give, or a lot of people just like an automatic CMA sent. But what we were doing and testing inside FDS, and which I recommended to a lot of agents. In fact, one of our agents, one of our agents, she ran an ad for, was it 20, I don't remember the exact amount of hours. It was a day, maybe 2 days, ran an ad and got something like 86 or 87 responses. And she was like, ack! And we had already talked about not sending an automated value. So what we did, we set her up on an auto response. So every single one of those people that gave her their information, they got an automatic email back. And that email took them a step farther. So then what she ended up doing was actually working with the 12 people who responded to that email, and I think she had something like 6 appointments, got 2 listings out of it so far. That was the one thing. This was a while back, and I haven't followed up on that, but just that whole, it was less than $50, and I think it was less than $50, and got 2 listings, and she had more appointments in line. But we made it, and then the other people who didn't respond back, they went on her nurture system. So long term, we have no idea yet what those returns are. And I need to follow up with her and find out, but that's how you do it. So she didn't want to send them all out because before, when she was doing those automatic responses, the determining who was the hottest prospect was very hard to do. So we set it up so we could determine the hottest prospects and work with them first and put the rest on a nurture, which is why you don't really want an automated response going out. And she had a lot. That was 86 or 87. I can't remember the exact, in the 80s, in less than a day. So I just want you to be aware that you can scale this. Absolutely can scale this. That's awesome. Okay. Randall says, can we learn the strategy you're presenting if we join FDS? Yeah, absolutely. It's what we teach. It's what I teach in there. Absolutely. Karen says, what choice do we select when creating the Facebook ad? Is it to drive traffic to website or conversion or something else? Drive traffic to your website. Clicks to website. So your clicks to website, that's usually the best. The conversion pixels are wonky right now. They've been wonky for a while. They're changing them out. Drive traffic because you want to just create an audience. It kind of doesn't matter where else they're going and what else they're doing. You're going to run ads to them based on where they went the first time. So you don't need the conversions And it gets really into becoming a much more advanced Facebook ads expert. And you guys are real estate agents, so drive traffic to the website, so clicks to website, and then we can run ads to that audience. Bold leads get 3 estimates, low end, middle, higher end, they use Zillow and ePraisal. Yeah, I don't know who all they use, Iggy. I do know that still giving the numbers, the consumer problem is perceived to be solved, and that doesn't help move their journey. And that's where we're going for, is we're going for higher conversions, higher appointments, higher closings. That's the goal. Hey, Don. Randall says, what about sending the seller prospect an auto CMA, but without a price range? You know, I don't know that anybody's actually tested that, but I'd have to ask in the FDS group. I just know that doing the process to determine who your hottest prospects are from that, and then putting the rest on auto follow-ups so that when they do become hot, they get something from you, is reaping more listings, signed listings, than the other way. What type of nurture system? So it's not a program. It's not a software vendor. It's a follow-up. What I mean is every week they get an email from you. You write that email. It is not about you selling real estate. It is not about using like Happy Grasshopper or Top Producer systems or Top Producers automatic emails and things like that. It's about you providing value. So if you're writing blog posts like this, or you're doing Facebook Lives like this, or you're doing something else that's valuable, you can send that to help them on their journey. Jerry says, yes. Yeah, Jerry, you are a good example too. Jerry says, sometimes I need to hear it multiple times before I go along. I just got it on your point about not giving the home valuation report up front. Oh, you just got it now, today. I thought you were doing that before, Jerry. Jerry's one of my FDS members. Randall says, I think Bold Leads requires a monthly Facebook ad spend budget. Not cheap. Real estate's not cheap, being in it. Bold Leads lists Zillow and ePraisal at the bottom of their instant valuation. Robin says, how about advertising for buyer leads? Any good ideas? How about targeting older crowd, wanting master or main? That is a lot. So you can do all of them. Usually what I recommend, Robin, I'm just succinct this because we're already at 46 minutes. But usually what I recommend is that you advertise for move up buyers. If you want buyers, advertise for move up buyers, because the likely to move and the renter the algorithms on Facebook kind of suck. And now it's not Facebook's fault. It's the sources that they come from. However, the homeowner targeting is pretty on spot. So because, you know, it's through our tax records, it's through sold records, things like that. So if you target sellers who want to move up in that respect, so you have to know your targeting, you're going to get double the sales, first of all, double the transactions, but you're going to get a better, more accurate targeting when you do that. Randall says, many homeowners nowadays request CMA info but have no interest in selling, as opposed to perhaps 10 or 15 years ago. Yeah, a lot of homeowners just want a value, which is why you kind of put them through that two-step process. If they just are wanting, you know, an automated value of some sort, then you put them through your nurture process until they're actually ready for more information. So yeah, that happens. And that was the same as, they weren't as eager to call on us 10 or 15 years ago, Randall, because they knew it was more work. Now they know it's just a computer, or they assume it's just a computer generated value. Yeah, a portion of it is, but they don't know that as an agent, you're very aware that those computer generated values are 3 to 5 months old, because they're based on closings that happened in the last 3 months, from offers that were made 1 to 3 months before that. So we're almost a half a year behind. So if we're in an appreciating or depreciating market, you know that as an agent, but they don't know that as a consumer, that their value could be radically different. And that's the kind of stuff you want to teach them in your blog post. You want to teach them so they understand why it is valuable to have you do the CMA versus Zillow or versus any automated system. So they need to know that kind of stuff. That's important. Amy says, say your 2 steps again. Step 1 was run the targeted ad to a pixel blog post that is a post that solves the seller's problem. Excuse me. And step 2 is then retarget that traffic, either with another valuable blog post, and or I usually say do both of these, and or with the upgrade that you actually offered in that blog post. So so it's kind of 2 ads that you'd be running in step 2. Yeah, Randall, it's not just the internet consumer, but you're right. The internet consumer has evolved over the last 10 years. It's our whole culture. We're like instant. We want instant, instant, instant. And we don't understand that. I always laugh at the people who are trying to reinvent the real estate industry because we can buy an airplane ticket online. We should be able to sell our houses online. But there's so many nuances. It's not just a ticket on a plane to a destination. It's like, you have lending and you have title and you have legislations and blah, blah, blah. It's way more than that. So it'll never be like that. But they don't understand that. And we have to teach them why it will never be like that. What's our value? It's basically showing our value. What is our value? There's a human element here to knowing that the market's appreciating at this speed right now. So therefore, these home values from 6 months ago are actually up at this point or down at this point, or they're staying the same, whatever that is. Yeah. Randall said, I had very good success with CMA offers to potential sellers 10 to 15 years ago. The arrival of Zillow was a real game changer. You know, it's funny because I'm in Idaho. We're a non-disclosure state, so you can't really get a lot of estimates. It's getting more and more because over time, Zillow is noticing what they can do. But because sold data is not put out, they can't actually get accurate stuff. So Zillow's never been an issue for us in our state. And then when I've worked with agents in other states, when we do the wording the right way, and we help consumers with a real problem and a real need, Zillow's a non-issue, becomes a non-issue. Iggy says, nurture system, 6 to 18 month leads, constant follow-up, must be automated with dinosaur age mailings, postcards, newsletters, phone calls every now and then. Study shows you need 6 to 8 contact. Before awareness, this gets expensive. It appears that what's missing is your particular personality style and how much money you have and time. So there's a lot more to that. And I've got a nice piece of paper saying I know a lot about marketing from 20 years ago. And when I got into real estate in 1995, I came in with that piece of paper, and it was very much about I call it kind of the middle school, because the old school idea of marketing was about relationships. Then there's this middle school period about push crap out to everybody, which is the time period that I went to college, which was the time period that I got into real estate, which was all that time period about ads and saturation and 6 to 8 and blah, 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 blah. You can circumvent all of that by giving value, by working to build a relationship. You don't need 6 to 8, you need 1. If it's valuable and if you're actually solving a problem. But Iggy, you're absolutely right. You need to be doing this over time. Consistency, and not once a month, not twice a month. You need to be giving value every single week. And there's a lot of data now to show how many times you should be emailing people, what you should be emailing them. It's not about touches. It's about value. It's about extending the relationship. It's about continuing to build the relationship. So we are back to the first, thousands of years of world history now versus the last 40 years in our marketing range. We call this the last 40 years, we call it old school, but I'm talking about original school. Let's talk about, from creator time on. It was about relationships, building a relationship, not touches, not how many times. It's about the relationship. If you're not providing value, they are not going to connect with you. I don't care how many times. They're going to feel driven to you, maybe by default, but your conversions are going to suck if you don't actually provide value. Robin says, do you encourage your agents to be premier agents on Zillow, or does your advertising for leads prove equal or better and less costly as compared to Zillow? I actually encourage agents to not use any vendor at all. Not be beholden, not be a slave to any vendor, not be a slave to your broker system, not be a slave to your franchise system, to have your own business, to build your own business. So, and I have a lot of agents in there who are right there to attest to that. So I've had agents be part of what I'm teaching and then leave and then come back and no, they've earned their stripes on own your own system. Now, I also know agents who are leveraging Zillow really well, but it is kind of a temporary leverage. If you actually want to be free from the effects of shifting markets, if you want to be free from the effects of how the industry grows or goes, not grows, but because it falls too, then you need to treat this as a business and build your own business. And that means build your own lead generation sources. That does not mean build software. It means that make sure that the avenues through which your business is coming in are owned by you, controlled by you. So there's that element on there. Let me see, let me get to the questions. Angela, you're an FDS member already. I think I need more targeting help at this point to get so much info. Yes. So Angela, this afternoon, I'm going to talk about it during the powwow this afternoon. And also I'll probably get in the group, the FDS group, and do a live stream about it because I've got a couple agents asking me about Inner Circle Mastermind. Because it's open right now. And this is the only 2 weeks that I open it. And it's and then, so it will not be open again until next June. And then it will only be open for the people who don't renew in there. So right now we had originally 20 spots. I have to look and see. We had originally 20 spots available. There are less than that. I think we have 15 available still. And so then however many people don't renew next year is how many spots we'll have available. Jason says, Zillow is the only in the way if you don't educate your leads and clients about how inaccurate the information is. I do not find Zillow as a problem once I talk to my leads and clients. Yeah, but you got to have a no like trust relationship with them. So brand new people, it's kind of hard because they don't necessarily believe you, Jason. So that is very true. But you want to build that relationship through value. That's the key. So an example here, you guys, a lot of you guys are here and you're coming to my live streams and you're noticing I always have a call to action in every single one of my live streams. There's a link in wherever you came, I think above the screen, there's a link that you could sign up into my list and get to know more. Some of you asked to go farther. A lot of you, I'm providing value. I'm giving you answers. I'm giving you places and resources to go to. So you don't actually have to use my services now. And then if you're ready at some point, do it. This is exactly what you want to do for your prospects, for your leads. You want to give value. You want to help them on their journey. It's the exact same it's exactly what I used in my real estate business. Now I didn't use Facebook live stream because Facebook live stream didn't exist, you guys. But I did use video. I used video for a brokerage. I used it for a real estate team. I used email heavily from 1996 on, 95 on. I used email heavily. We used our website and blogs heavily to build relationships. It works. It works very well. Open house and door. Elka says, the best dinosaur lead gen or open house and door knocking. Actually, I bet I could probably outdo you on dinosaur lead gen. I never did open houses and I never did door knocking. Now, those are free. Now, okay, you're right. Those are free resources. We would always do direct mail was huge. Our expireds, we knocked it out of the park on expireds through direct mail. But then as email came along, it was even better. And then of course, as Facebook allowed us to start targeting people, as we started being able to do that kind of stuff, it was even better because then we could drive people to valuable resources and they didn't have to opt in because we were able to get them as traffic and then run ads to them later. So it's even better. You guys are like in the golden age of lead generation. I kid you not. It's a fabulous time to be a real estate agent. Yeah, Angela says, just moved over to a new office and they're a bit archaic in their thinking, just got most of them up on Facebook. Yeah, it's just an understanding of how we can get it to work and how we can leverage it. Okay, Robin says, okay, I need a website. Yikes. I know a little behind the game. That's okay. A lot of people start with no website because usually they have broker sites or just their Facebook page. Do you think Playster is a good place to build a basic site or do you know a few options to get a good site? Would love site to produce leads. Okay, so first of all, I think Playster gives fabulous value. They help train a lot of agents. They do a lot of good. However, I do not recommend their websites right now for one reason and one reason only. You cannot embed the Facebook pixel on a Playster site. They have said that it's coming. It's still not there yet. So I do not recommend it. I recommend that you get a WordPress website of your own. You can try Mike Mueller with areweconnected.com. He helps our agents with their sites and it's a WordPress website that you own. You can put that pixel on because Facebook ad retargeting is so powerful. That's the only reason that I do not recommend Playster. I think they're a fabulous company. I think they have a lot of really good elements and content. They know their stuff, but that piece is so pivotal that I would not recommend using those sites right now. So I would use probably Mike Mueller with areweconnected.com. Angela says, anyone too. Yep. And Angela, inside the FDS group, there under tools and resources, there's a discount. Mike gives extra bonuses to FDS members. He's also in the group. We put him in the group so you guys can ask questions of him, Angela. Randall says, yeah, you're right. Playster is built on WordPress and allows you to customize and have a blog. Minimal customization, and you cannot put a Facebook pixel on. That's the last status that we heard so far. And the Facebook pixel, it's not worth it to build a blog on something that you're going to drive traffic to if you cannot pixel it. Just not. Where a website, okay, let me put that on here. Mike, I'll tag him too. Mike Mueller at areweconnected.com. There you go. Let's see. So actually you would need to, Karen, you would need to message Mike. Chad says, is there a good retargeting for dummies article somewhere? Probably. My project manager is on a plane right now, so I will write that down and put the link in this thread too. I know I've written one, Chad, so I'll find out that retargeting. And if I don't have one that's full and complete, then I will write one. Okay, perfect. So we're at 59 minutes, 60 minutes. So I'm going to wrap it up. I've got the Facebook Domination Secret Mastermind powwow here in an hour, and we're going to dive into audiences. I wrote it down. We're going to dive into audiences, and we're going to dive into how to tweak our targeting for higher conversions. So this is pretty awesome stuff because Facebook's made some fabulous changes again. So new places to find things. It's pretty intense. I love it. So any other questions? If you guys have been watching this in replay, ask your questions. I'm coming back. I'm answering questions, you guys. I love it that you've been here. I love this. I love Facebook Live because I get to see, well, I don't get to see you, but I feel like I'm just really just kind of looking at me, but I get to see your live questions, and I feel like I just like it better than webinars. I know in webinars I can capture your email and send you emails later, but I like this. I like talking to you and kind of getting to know you. So thanks, Jason. Hey, thanks, Amy. Have a fabulous afternoon, you guys. Bye.